Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right, thinking right, out here in the lab, rocking my white, doing what I do for you. Got nice and for you today. So get ready. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules live by, storytelling, story with a message, the message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission. Yeah, that's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life, and this for me. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get all my right thinkers to know themselves through knowledge and education that I give them on a daily basis. I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer it, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. That should be your goal for your right thinker. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not a right thinker, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them, excuse me. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know. It's okay. They're spiritually asleep. I can wake them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers. Know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Boy, we having some fun with this book here. I'm enjoying this. So I got another few pages to read to you, break it down for you. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go. This is called Right Thinkers. Let's talk about the evolution, excuse me, the evolution of the concept of what the high God in ancient Egypt. Yeah, y'all claim we worship many gods. Let me break it down for you. Hope you get a better understanding. I'm in here sweating. I'm in here working, but it's all good. So let me break this thing down about the ancient high gods of ancient Egypt. I'm gonna take you through and break it down for you. Hope you get it. Let's go. Now, in order to fully understand the forms and mythologies of the gods and goddesses and their importance to the idea of Egyptian yoga, it is important to review the cultural changes which shape the forms of the gods and goddesses and what the status of male and female figures throughout pre-dynastic and the dynastic Egyptian history. I'm not an Egyptologist. I don't do the chronological ages of this dynasty, that dynasty. I don't. I'm not. And I went there to get the concepts, the secrets. That's what I got. So I ain't big on the dates, but I'll break it down to you as best I could from here. I'm not gonna add much to it because that ain't my area. So I'm gonna give you what they got. Now, when people think of the Egyptian, of ancient Egypt, the image that comes to mind is what? Is that of the pharaohs. Okay. And what? Pyramids. And also the Sphinx. They're starting to forget about my dude, and they got to realize he was the first. That's another lesson. But traditional Egyptologists, which I'm not, normally classify what ancient Egyptian civilization into two major periods. Watch this: the pre-dynastic, that's before, and the dynastic, that's after. Got it? Cool. Now, the dynastic period is further classified into what they call the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom. That's where they lose me at, and then the New Kingdom. A lot of stuff going on there. I ain't following. All I'm concerned with was what they were doing conceptually, how they were living. That's where I drew the line at. But watch this now. These classifications are based on their assessment as to the dates of the known kings or pharaohs of the ancient Egyptian Egypt, and also partially based on what? The writings of Manetho, which the king of, excuse me, the last known high priest of ancient Egypt, who classified ancient Egyptian history into various periods, okay, which included dynasties. Now, the character of the Osirian, this is what I studied, this is what I mastered, the concept, the Osirian mystery, are said to have originated in the mysteries of Anu, which is considered the first time, okay, this is where it comes from. Anu is the city where the first major priesthood of the dynastic period arose. Now, Anu was the seat of the what? Worship of the supreme being, an aspect of what? The solar divinity, which is up there, with the name of who? Ra. We call it the sun. They called it Ra. We still know the value of that sun. We can still be called sun worshiping Ra. Worshiping Ra to this day. Ain't nothing changed because they changed the name. The culture changes, so the name changes. But he's still who it is, the visible part about the hidden aspect of God. Moving on. But however, new arch- architectural evidence has what? Shown that, watch this, the worship of the Supreme Being as Asar, Haru, Hathor, and Aset all date back, you ready? To an ancient period in the pre-dynastic period, perhaps dating back to at least 50,000 BCE. I don't write it, I just read it, study it, understand it, and pass it along. No judgments about that. Ain't got no conversation about that. I'm trying to get somewhere else, so I want to get that out the way. Let's go. I'm still rolling. I got time. Now, at the beginning of the first dynasty, circa 5000 BCE, that's being nice, okay? And by saying that, when you hear about the Babylonians, oh, they go back 6000 BCE, we're being nice with the records. I just told you 50,000 BCE, and we started the dating from 10,000 BCE. So when we got to circa 5,000, we already had 5,000 years of living. That's what I'm trying to show you. Okay. So again, I'm not Egyptologist. I just know understand how things work. So from what studying. Okay. In doing all my studies, this is stuff I had to learn as I go. So I don't have a problem with that. But now watch this. Now 5000 BCE, when what? What the first pharaoh, which name is Menes or Mena, was what? Proclaimed as the uniter of the two lands, Upper and Lower Egypt. Because it's flipped. Upper Egypt is down here. Lower Egypt is up there. Okay. Now Western civilization claim that we got it wrong. Moving on, another nonsensical stuff. But okay, he united both Upper and Lower Egypt through solar worship at the time, and Ra was the god, rose to prominence. Still there. Now this led to what? And the high god is Ra. At 12 noon, we just a little past that. It's high in the sky right now. It's over top of everything. That's what they meant by the high God, not some other gods. No, 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 ain't but one. He's just high. His highest point is at 12 noon. Now he go into the sixth. From 6 to 12, he rises, he rises, he rises, he rises. He gets to the peak. Uh-oh, descension time. Okay, that's the concept. That's nature. That's the cycle. It ain't changed since the time they implemented from their perspective. We 20,000 years later, we still same concept pretty much. Okay, understand it. Now watch this. Now, Ra rose to prominence, and what happened? This led to the first major what? Merging of ancient Egyptian mythology of Amun, which then the other part of Egypt was considered God, the supreme being as the hidden life force, okay, with that of the dynamic essence. Now you got Ra. Now Ra became what? The symbol of the manifest expression of who? Amun, the hidden one. Hidden, Ra is visible. Now, that's the transcendental reality behind the manifestation, and both of these were merged into the form of Amun Ra. hidden scene. The third part of that is sub-creator God. This is why. Even though ancient Egyptians suffered, here's another part a lot of people don't understand. Hundreds of invasions from who? Hostile countries. The teachings of their religion stayed unchanged for a reason. Okay. Now, also over time, the sage created many what? Religious systems, which on the surface seem discordant and wild, but when studied with the what? With an intuitive eye to really pay attention to it, having an understanding like I do of our ancient Egyptian mystical philosophy, what happens? It becomes apparent that there is an underlying harmony and unity within what the teachings, watch this, of all the theologies. All religions have a goal to what? Get you to God. They just had a way. Understand that. So this is why this is evident from my studies in one all important factor of mystical philosophy. The scriptures clearly state that what all of the deities or netters, back in the time that's what we call them, emanated from the one supreme being. That never question. Stop with the many gods. Please, they understand that. So watch this. These are all aspects and they're all part of your character, your personality. Once mastered, you'll understand. But further, watch this. They state that what? That the major deities, known as what? The high gods, here we go again, in each theological system, told you Memphis, Waset, and Thebes had all different Trinity gods. Watch this. It's all understood and respected. We got Pentecostal, different Christianity constants. So it's always been that way. It shouldn't have to change. All you got to do is just be understanding. Watch this. Now, through all theological systems, and what's this? Are in reality different forms of what? Of an aspect of the same divinity. That's my point. This is why I tell people, don't color me with that religious concept. I like to keep it spiritual with knowledge and understanding. That's all. But my fellowship is be with Christians. So my pastor said, you a Christian brother, right? All right, moving on. But I understand this, what that means. This means that not only are all the deities symbolic representations, again, you can make any god you want symbolic, but it's the action, the deed that you give to it that'll make it pay off for you. Because what? It's all the same God anyway, and it's all up here. Symbolic representation of the supreme deity. But watch this, that they are also in reality aspects of what? Each other. Following me? This point will be elaborated on at length throughout this work. However, below you will find a schematic. I got a little picture right here to show you of the high gods of ancient Egypt, showing their what? Interrelationships, their family, just different aspects of the same people. Watch this. Now, in mystical religion, there is usually what? A high god or the highest divinity, and you got below this divinity, there are many what? Many minor deities. You know, call them angels. Same concept. So please understand that I do. I got a problem with it. Now, in ancient Egyptian mystical philosophy, there is not a high god level, watch this, or divinity, but there is also a transcendental level. That's the highest. And watch this. In this level, there is who? A nameless, a formless divinity. Understand that. Which what? Which transcends all descriptions and all names and form. We keep telling you. So the sages at the time came up with a concept, an idea. Right there. It states Pa Netter, Nebercha, Netter and Netero. These are all manifested concepts. No, nothing. That's just who they are. Okay. Now, in order for us to be able to study them and philosophically get a concept of them, we have to bring them into manifestation so that we can label them and understand them. So we start with the first one. Amen. The Trinity of the God is you got Amen, which is hidden, Ra, which is visible, and Tut, the self-creator, which is the physical form. And you have Haru, the resurrected one from his father. You got Hathor, which is the right eye, left eye of Ra, the destructive one. She can cause problems and do some work. Then you have Asar, the first spirit in the human form in man. And you have his sister wife, Aset, which represent knowledge, wisdom, and intuitive understanding of oneself. These are the gods that we call manifest. We give them identity. So we label them, we give them. I got, let me break it down. I got some more for you coming. It's coming up. So that's just the concept. You got the Parnetta, the Bircher, the all encompasses, another rule, all unmanifested concepts. I mean, they're there, but we got to put a title and label to them so we can study them, mimic them, so to speak. And here we go. Now, there are references to what? The unmanifest concept of the divine, but the icons, the statues, and the symbols which are not prominent in religion are of the manifest names and forms of the divine. However, the manifest forms are what in reality just aspects of what the unmanifest form, and the manifest forms are reality aspects of what each other as well. This means that Amen, Ra, Ptah, Haru, Hathor, Asar, Aset, etc. is what are in reality what the same character but with different names and forms. The unmanifest is referred to as the absolute, and the manifest is referred to as the realm of relativity. We can make it tangible. Absolute is what? Unchanging. It's always going to be absolute. Sorry, just calm down. Calm down. But the absolute is what's don't change. Immortal. And that's God. That's it. And abiding and beyond time and space. Again, now you got the unmanifest is also referred to as a what? Non-dual essence, which means stop right there. It's a non-dual essence, and the manifest is that which is conditioned by duality. Maya represents duality. The absolute represents the one. Everything comes from the one. He brought Maya to give order. That's her job. She comes from him, his daughter. Okay, aspects, characters that come out of the one. We'll be understanding this. So when we think in duality, we're thinking equal opposites, which is law of correspondence. Okay, as the same above is below, as above, so below, all that good stuff. Equal opposites, yeah. In, out, up, down. That's Mayat. That's anything that balances with two people, two things is Maya. Before her, we had the absolute. Hope you're getting the concept. She's a version of him. Now, the unmanifest is also referred to as the ocean, which is the oneness, while the world of relativity is referred to as what? The waves in the ocean. Duality and multiplicity. This is God being dual and multiplied by billions. Right now, we got 9 billion humans. That means God has been duplicated, multiplied, multiplicity, multiplicity, duplicated himself over 9 billion times. And remember, these spirits from God is on loan while he went back. Yeah. So the idea is to come here in the physical form, learn yourself, get knowledge and understanding, have a good whatever you want to do life, but know thyself. So when this life is over, you take the spirit back to the Father. That's the concept. But back to the lesson. Now the relative is that which is bound to what? Time and space here in transit in Earth. It's fleeting and it's ephemeral. It won't last. Okay. Don't fall in love with just like why. It ain't gonna last. And the unmanifest is immortal. Here we go. And the manifest is what? Temporal. Aset, immortal. Nephet, temporal. She represents mortality. Okay, they got to be equal. There they are. Watch this. It don't change. The unmanifest is immortal, manifest is temporal. And watch this. And subject to what? Birth and death. If you born, you're going to die in the physical world. Time and space. Simple as that. Time goes on, the space gonna be taken up. When the body run out, it's going back to the earth. Why? The spirit goes either there, back to the maker, if it's enlightened, or to the left, to the left. I keep doing that, but it's to the right. All right. Now, we got a little bit more. We got one more page. Yeah. Now this is title is The Anonymous Ancient Egyptian Supreme Being in Pre-Dynastic Times to End of the Dynastic Period. We're going to talk about that. The pre-dynastic period of Egyptian history is referred to in the pyramid text, the utterance at 570 as what? The time before what? The battle of Haru and Set. The battle of Haru and Set is man. Okay, that's the holy fight that's inside us. So this happened before us. That's what I'm going to understand. Mm-hmm. It meaning what? Prehistory or what? The time what? Before mythology or duality. God Amun is known as being formless, nameless, boundless, all-encompassing, eternal, hidden, only one, universal, who has what? No second, no dual, encompassing. He's male and female. I just asked the question to one of my right thinkers as while we discussed God in the male form. I broke it down to him. This is the concept. Why? He's both male and female aspects in one, primordial, self-creator, creator of what? All things, and for all other gods, the one who is permanent, the one who abides, the underlying reality, the one who lives what? Upon Maya. Booyah! The God of what? Many names, immutable, manifold, and no one knows what? Their true number, though God can what? Can be seen how? In form and observation of what? God can be made at what? God's appearance. God cannot be understood. God cannot be seen with, watch this, mortal eyes. These two. Mm-mm. God is invisible and inscrutable to who? Gods as well as men. So understand that they had a clear understanding of the God concept, the absolute. Okay, we just knew how to break it down and explain it to you. I got a little more to go. We almost did. Hold on. I got you. Wait, one person, pray for me. Now we're going to talk about the ancient times, the concept of what the unmanifest supreme self was turned. Now I'm gonna give you the breakdown. Here you go. That's right here. Okay. And you got a few terms. I'm gonna break it down for you, and that lesson be over. It's almost there. Relax. Now, Panetta. We just talked about him. That's God. That's the one. Nebercha. That's the all-encompassing supreme being. Again, we knew that. Now let's get to the name. You got Amun, the hidden one, the Netter, the Netteru, God of gods. Head God in charge, so to speak. That's what they call higher lower. But no, his whole thing is invisible. He's hidden. You don't see him. Okay, that's why he's the hidden one and the God of gods. He also represents the wind. They said that when we gave Shu that title, but he's also the God of the wind. The following is a listing of what the primary high supreme beings with name and form, the manifestation from the late pre-dynastic period to what? To the end of the dynastic time of ancient Egypt. See if these names sound familiar. Haru, in zoomorphic form. When you see Haru, his head is what? Of the hawk or the falcon, whichever you choose, okay? But it's a bird of prey. That's called zoomorphic. One part man, other part animal, okay? The face of Haru is always of the falcon. Understand that. Now, then Hathor, the left eye Ra, she represents, we call the cow, the nurturer, the mother of all mothers. She's the ram, the ears, the cow headed disc between her ears, and that's the zoomorphic form. Sometimes you see a woman with the cow head, you see the cow face on a woman body. You see all the papers up in her temples. You see her with the cow form, a human face with the cow eyes and ears. That's Hathor, the zoomorphic form. Then you got Ra Harati. That's the transition. You see Ra when he just like Haru. He's always shown with the hawk-headed human. That's called transition. He ain't changing. Now you got transition in earlier form. Here we go. The first time you can see Amon, you don't see, but they represent him with Atem or Amon. He's the guy with the two plumes of his head. Okay, the long tail. That's him in what they call transition, early form. He's a ram-headed god with the moon and the sun just on his head. The later dynastic form, he became in human form. You see the old right? That's Amun, but they show him now in human form. His wife is Mu. His son is Kansu, which is the moon god. Okay. You got Ptah Sekhmet. They're the father, son, and mother trilogy of Thebes. Okay. And they tell you they are transition. Ptah is the guy you see with the skull cap on, with the jet pill on his hand. They got the three things on it, okay? The the Waset, and the oh man, my man, but I'm going to blank. But yeah, he got 3-in-1, showing he's part of the royal family, and he's always in human form. That's it. His wife, Sekhmet, she's the lioness form. She the one that God sent out to do work. Okay, she's the bad girl too. Her good side is the lioness. The good side is the Bastet. She become a household cat. Okay, and they cats are sacred to the Egyptians. Quick news flash for all my right thinkers. I don't know if who knows who don't, but did you know? Do you know why the cats of ancient times was revered and respected? They have a pineal gland. They got a God transmitter that they can communicate to God. This is why they can see the spirits, and I guess ward off things that we can't see. Why? But they get messages from God too. So just want to throw that in there. I'm a cat man. I love that little tidbit about them. I see it in my cats all the time. I can relate to them a little different now. We're on a whole nother level thinking. All right, here you go. Now, Patel segment. Okay. Next one you got Nabercha, which is Amen, Ra, Ptah, Hathor. All those are anthropomorphic forms. When you see them, they're always in a certain form. Okay, anthropomorphic, half man, half animal. You're gonna see that composite all the time. Now you got Tim or Atum. Okay, completely anthropomorphic. Okay, he's going to be in half man, half woman mode. Asar, Aset, completely anthropomorphic. You'll see Asar in human form. You see, I said she can change and she can go to the cow form. She can transform and be any aspect of all the goddesses. That's how strong and tough she is. Okay, but they both completely anthropomorphic. Okay, now in the earliest times, the concept of God, here we go, taking it home, in Egyptian mythology was presented in two basic forms, with name and form, and without name and form. Hence, Parnetta, or the Supreme Being, refers to who? The nameless and the formless. Understanding why the deities such as who? Asar and Aset are examples of what? The divine with specific name and form. As the evolution of ancient Egyptian civilizations progressed through the dynastic periods, there were many depictions of the divine in many forms. However, none of these forms were thought of, watch this, as absolute or real and of themselves. They understood they wasn't idol worshipers, they wasn't adulterers, they was understanding of the process of philosophical, mythological concepts that educated them to enlighten them, to deepen their knowledge and understanding of God. Moving on. Rather, they were presented by the ancient Egyptian sages as ways to what? To promote the understanding of the different aspects of the divine. Thus, each depiction is in reality like a veil, which what? Which enables a person to gaze upon something which will turn what? Their mind towards God. However, again, however, like a veil, the images also have what? A depth which can be seen. And again, the image, a picture is worth 1,000 words. They can show you with an image and a picture that can what? Change your mind, and which can be seen when what? When the outer symbolic form is understood and seen with the proper light of intuitional vision. Not these eyes, this eye. The one that wink, not the one that stink. The third eye is a spiritual eye. Why? Because it sees within. And through the studying, how you activate it, studying and the teaching of their inner meanings, as well as what? Daily practice of their spiritual living according to the teachings of right thinking philosophy, aka yoga or Maya philosophy. A human being, you can what? Develop the light of intuitional vision, which will what? Break the veil of what? Self-ignorance, egoistic ways that what? Blocks a person's ability to see the divine with the third eye vision, knowledge of self. It is important, taking it home, to understand the difference between duality and again, non-duality. Why? Duality is viewing a separation between who? The soul and God, which is okay, but it means seeing two distinct personalities. Non-duality is what? A recognition that in reality there is what? No separation between what? The human heart and who? God. Your human heart is tied into God. Oh, that's what God is. Ding, 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 ding. You just win the booby prize, booby. Now, when you recognize that, you have been what? Awakened. You are now spiritually enlightened. You've been anointed. You become Christhood. You become God, like all those things, but you have to make it happen. So, wrapping it up. So, indeed, there are one and the same. This is the realization that comes from what? Spiritual enlightenment. Bang. In ancient Egypt, the symbols for the soul and God were the same. That's where God dwells. Once you become conscious of that, you punch your ticket to go home. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I enjoyed giving it. I got more. Oh, we ain't done.